You know, there's nothing like cracking that cellophane, pulling that record out. It just smells great.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Non-stop hardcore energy.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Unlike any other.
With your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bod Father.
Man, this stuff rocks.
This is Chuck Lazaras, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Hour, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I'm bringing you guys and gals awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to welcome guitarist and vocalist Chuck Lazaras, and he has released his new album titled 1971, and it's out now. 1971 is the follow-up to 2017's album Bony Fiend, and we love the Misfits Fiends. There we go. How you doing, man?
Life is good, John. Good to see you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And folks, please don't ever forget this. Go out and subscribe to the BODS Mayhem Hour YouTube page. You need to subscribe. I'm just telling you right now. Again, I'll eat a bologna sandwich with you if you subscribe. I'll come hang out. You know, we'll play some Nintendo, whatever. We'll listen to Chuck's
button, make it happen. Yes.
Yeah, we'll listen to Chuck's album too. How about that? We'll put all that in there. Oh man, how excited are you to release this album 1971, man? Because I know you've got a lot of albums under your belt right now.
Yeah. Really stoked. This is a bit of a different direction for me. It's something I've wanted to do for a very long time. I'm a huge Sabbath fan. I play a lot of punk stuff. You probably noticed. And so this has been in the works for several years, and really glad we finally got to get in and hit the studio last year and finish this thing up and make it happen. And it's I'm stoked, man. I'm really happy with it.
When I saw the cover, I was like, that looks like Black Sabbath. And I was like, that's cool.
A very intentional nod to Black Sabbath. This is actually, this was shot locally in Florida. I'm from Florida. This is in New Smyrna Beach, just up the road from where I live. It's an old abandoned mill. And so it was sort of the perfect vibe to give a nod to Sabbath, but to do something sort of unique and to sort of reflect where I'm from. So it was a really cool opportunity.
In all honesty, man, I'm not knocking anything whatsoever, but that album cover is absolutely beautiful, honestly, because I love abandoned buildings. I love just the historical part about it, the history about it, even though it might not be haunted or may play a crucial part in the area, but at least it's still standing and still has a story. Yeah.
It's a super cool site. I mean, you can, next time you're down my way, we can go there.
Yeah, that's a hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we just talked about Devil's Lettuce is going to be the first single off this album. Yes. What led that to be the first single? Because I know there's some other bangers on here, man, but what led this one to say that's got to be the one?
I'm not sure I have an easy answer. We really like the song in the studio. It kind of came together really well in the studio. And it was one of those songs where afterwards we were looking to do a video for one of the songs to release shortly after the album comes out. And that was the one everybody thought would be a great one for the video. So we've got the video coming out for that in a few weeks. Looking forward to that. And just a fun little tune that kind of has some of the Sabbath vibe, has some of the early 70s vibe. And it really translates well.
So I'm going to throw this question out here, my brother, because I know we're big Sabbath fans and Misfits and all that good stuff. But Zach Sabbath, what did you think about Zach doing his nod to Ozzy and Black Sabbath, man?
I loved it. I loved it. I pre-ordered it. I really dug it when it came out. I got it on vinyl so I could kick back and listen to the record. So, yes.
I actually got the Zach Sabbath poster signed, and I don't have it on my wall right now.
Nice.
Yeah, and as you see, well, I don't know if you see all of it, but I mean, it's full with autographs all over the place. I need to make some arrangements in here and take some down, add some track, give it a little bit of flavor in here.
It's very easy to run out of wall space.
Oh, that's exactly right, man. Look at all them guitars up there. Look at all them puppies.
I've got a few. Yeah.
Did you think you would have 15 albums under your belt at this time? Because when I was looking back, I was like, man, he's got a lot of stuff that's out right now.
I never counted. Wow. I guess I've been doing this a while. Yeah.
Breaking news with BODS Mayhem Hour. Chuck finally realizes he's got 15 albums.
How did that happen? Wow. Yeah. I've been doing music for a long time. Really enjoy it. Love making records. Love making albums. And I've kind of run the spectrum. A lot of punk stuff. And it's been fun. I've enjoyed every album I've ever been on.
So you said this is a little bit of a new direction for you. Was you a little nervous going this route, or was you full force and say, "Hey, man, I'm going to scratch this. Let's go"?
Oh, I jumped in head first. I wanted to do it. I went all in. I mean, it gave me an excuse to buy new guitars. I mean, I already had a couple of SGs, but I went out and bought a couple of Iomi SGs. It gave me an excuse to go buy a Laney amp right behind me. So I was all in. Yeah. So jumped in, just wanted to do it. And I've been thinking about it for a long time. So it just got to be the right time. And I had the right band, and everybody was really stoked about jumping in and doing this thing. And so we just made it happen.
Are these all brand new songs, or are these songs that were maybe left off a previous album, or maybe just left in the vault that you said, let's touch this?
A little of both. So most of the tracks are brand new. The Return, which Ripper Owens was kind enough to do vocals on, is a reworking of an earlier Lazaras tune that we kind of slowed down, made it a little heavier, and then Ripper was kind enough to sing on it, and it just sounded incredible. And Dirge, which is the instrumental, it's an expanded version of an earlier song that was on one of the early Lazaras albums. So some of the things are brand new, that were written specifically for this album, like the Witch, written specifically for this album, the Devil's Lettuce, 5 years, and then other couple of songs were things that have been reworked or changed a bit.
So did Tim Ripper Owens, was he there in the studio, or did he actually just phone it in from his home and send it back to you working on this?
We sent him the tracks from my studio, Studio 101 down in Melbourne, Florida, and then he recorded his tracks and sent everything back to us.
So what was your first reaction when you first started hearing him working on this, man? Did it blow you away?
Oh, dude, I can't even tell. Absolutely. And a huge Ripper fan, absolutely love him. And when the tracks got back to the studio and I got to go down there and bring it up for the first time, just a very rough mix first time through, was just, holy cow. I mean, we all know Ripper has amazing vocals.
Yes, sir.
And it was just stunning to hear it on one of my songs.
To hear him on KK's Priest album is just mind blowing, man. I mean, everything the dude does is like, God, can you not do anything? It's like, man.
He's amazing. I love KK's Priest. Last time I saw Ripper in concert was Dio's Disciples. They played Orlando a few years ago, before the COVID times. And Ripper, as always, was amazing. Just everything that guy touches, I mean, he's incredible.
I want to go off this just for a little bit. I know, and we're not taking away from the interview at all, but I know you have to be a huge Ozzy Osbourne fan, just like myself. Okay. But what do you think about these two new albums? The one that just came out recently, and now this new one that's going to come out, I think maybe in September this year. What's your thoughts on this new stuff from him? Me personally, I think it's an awesome twist on Ozzy to see what he can do outside of Black Sabbath and, his solo career. But I think he took it to another level with these. Oh,
yeah. I'm really stoked about the new album. I enjoyed the last one. And I think the new album is probably going to be even better because I know Iomi plays on a track. Zach Wilde comes and plays on some stuff. So you're going to have some of the old school stuff on there combined with this new stuff he's doing. I love it. I can't wait to hear it.
And his voice, to me, sounds just like old Ozzy. I mean, there's nothing faulty about it. I mean, yeah, he's getting old, and he's getting up there. We should at least appreciate that he's still able to do this, because when it's gone away, man, there's just like, well, I wish he could do this again, and it's not going to be there.
I agree. And, I love that he's still doing it as well as he is. I think he sounded great on the last album. And, I hope, when I'm that age, I can still kind of do this stuff.
Sure. I hope I'm that age and still can play Guitar Hero, so. Any tracks that did not make this album we can see on another album, or maybe an EP from you down the road, possibly? Did any not make this album?
Pretty much everything we recorded made it, because like I said, we kind of went into this loaded to do this. I don't know. I only planned on kind of doing the sort of Sabbathy sounded thing, but I've gotten so much positive feedback and so much love for this album so far. Maybe there's volume 2 coming at some point. I don't know.
That'd be cool, man, because like I've said before, it's cool to go outside your box and go away from, your punk roots and all that stuff, just to experiment to see how it feels to play something else and not be all punkish. And so, yeah, man, I feel my roots kind of deal, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Any tracks standing out more to you than any right now on this, man? Because I know these are your babies, Chuck, but do you have that stand out for you personally, man?
The Witch.
Ooh.
I absolutely love that song. That was it's one of those songs that was just kind of born fully formed, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I was sitting around one day and the riff just kind of popped in my head, and next thing I know, I'm kind of jamming out on guitar, and the lyrics came very quickly. And I absolutely love the version that we have on the album. It's just a really strong, catchy song that matches the vibe of the album perfectly.
How do you feel, though, man, when you see that song come to life from its infancy to childhood to finally being an adult and be out there? When you go back and look at it, man, what goes through your mind? Like, yeah, that's some badass shit right there.
It's fun. It's very fulfilling to get to the point, when the album finally was all done and mastered and sent off to be pressed. It's like just a big relief. Okay. And now I can sit back and enjoy myself, because I tend to be very involved in the studio process. So it's a lot of work, and I always try to be on and on top of it and listen to things again and again to be sure that it's right. And so it's a bit of a sigh of relief when we get to the point where everything comes out. I can sit back and enjoy the music.
Was there a track on this album you were working on that totally ended up sounding different than it was intended to when it was first brought to the table? Did something like change, like say, hey, we got to change this, and then finally that was it?
Oh, sure. And great question. Devil's Lettuce. When we went to the studio to record that one, that was the last track we recorded. It was still very rough. And we recorded a couple versions in the studio, and then I went back in and added some leads and didn't like those, added some other leads. So that song really came together in the studio and evolved into an amazing track.
Who produced this album? Was this in-house, or did you have somebody else help you on this?
Me kind of, and Brendan from Studio 101. He was very hands-on and helped me throughout this entire process, gave me a lot of fantastic advice.
Working with him, though, did he kind of push you to get what he wanted, or like working with him, did he get something out of you that maybe somebody else might not have gotten?
Oh, yeah. Well, we've been working together for a long time, so we have really good communication. And he has a good way of conveying his ideas as to where something should be headed. And he's also very polite, because when something sucks, he just says, you might want to try that again, instead of just saying it sucked.
Oh, man, he's one of the nice ones. He's not like...
Exactly. He's great.
That sucks. You're wasting my time. Oh, man, you were in the underground Florida music scene, and you founded and fronted and was playing guitar in bands as Lazarus, of course, and Scurvy the Clown, I should say. How crucial was the underground scene for you coming up as an artist, man? Did this, help you more to form as an artist, possibly, or how crucial was that?
Oh, sure. I think that things like that kind of impact everything you do. I toured a lot in the 90s in an 83 GMC van all over the country. Really digging into the music, to the punk rock scene, met a lot of great folks over those years, and continue to do it all the way until now. So I've got lifelong friendships from people that I've met then, a ton of road experience. I have slept in some of the worst hotels known to humankind.
It's like paying those dues, as they call it. Exactly. And I keep telling my buddies, you eat the poor man's steak sandwich. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, like bologna. It's just a bologna sandwich. Poor man's steak right there.
Oh, I hear you. Road food used to be Vienna sausage and mustard.
Yeah. Ooh.
Way too much of that stuff back in the day.
Oh, man. Or I've heard like just cans of tuna and maybe a pack of cracker, a box of crackers, and that's it, man.
Yep. We did a lot of that back in the day. I mean, I wouldn't trade it. Sure. I wouldn't want to do it now.
Oh, no. Hell, can't afford it. Nobody can afford anything.
Well, that's true.
What was it about hearing Tony Iommi's frenzied riffs, and plus Rick Nelson's infectious hooks, man, that helped you or inspired you as a guitar player. What was it about those two guys? I know they're iconic. What was it about those guys and their guitar playing?
Well, I was kind of doomed from the start. My mom listened to Black Sabbath and Deep Purple, so this is music that I grew up on, and there was just always something about Iommi's style, the very strong, the lower tuning. Even when I was a kid, I didn't realize that, but as I got older, and just the way that his riffs and leads always kind of spoke to me. It's like it just kind of gets in your soul. And so I've been a Sabbath fan as long as I can remember. Cheap Trick kind of the same way. Grew up listening to Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick was one of the first concerts I ever went to when I was a kid. Those things just kind of stick with you and help sort of build the foundation of your style. Wherever you go, you always remember the first things that really got you into music and pulled you in that direction.
I thought this was cool because I know a lot of us did this when we were younger, but you skipped school frequently riding your bike to the neighborhood record shop in order to score the latest LPs from the Ramones, Dead, and I hope I pronounce this right, Dead Serios.
Dead Serious, yes.
And the Misfits, the Mighty Misfits.
Yes.
How important was that to you, man, when you look back on that to this day? Oh,
huge. My teenage years when I really discovered punk rock. It was eye-opening. The first time I saw the Ramones, it changed my life. One of the most amazing live bands to this day I have ever seen. Just the way they get up on stage, 1, 2, 3, 4, and just kill it. One song after the other. It's absolutely incredible. So again, that became foundational music in my life. I'm a huge Ramones fan. In fact, somewhere around here, I've got a Johnny Ramone guitar. Love that style of music. Same with the Misfits. Absolutely love the Misfits. In fact, one of the highlights of my career thus far is I got to be in a band with Joey Image, the Misfits drummer, prior to his passing a few years ago, and we got to record a couple of songs. So it was very cool to be part of that. And it's one of those moments in life when I'm playing guitar, I look over and I see Joey Image, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, 15-year-old Chuck would just be incredibly impressed that he's sitting in the same room as Joey Image playing a Misfits song. It was just incredible.
And I'm very, very fortunate and blessed that I had him on the podcast a long time ago.
Oh, did you? Fantastic. I wasn't aware of that. So cool.
Yeah, Joey is a good guy, man. That was a very long podcast too, and he's just a sweet person. I mean, just a good down to earth person. And you wouldn't even known he was in the Misfits for a little bit. I mean, the guy didn't even let on as I was in the Misfits, blah blah blah. Just a down to earth good guy. And I hate that.
Very humble, very polite.
His art was good too.
Yeah.
What's the growth musically you've seen from yourself working on this album versus 2017's release of Bony Fiend?
Well, the nice thing about this was it gave me a chance to kind of step back and approach music a little bit different because, it's a different mindset, playing the slower stuff, playing the Sabbath vibe. So I got to kind of step back, readjust everything. John, who plays drums, he plays drums in Lazarus also, a very fast drummer, very good at playing fast. It was a bit of a stretch for him too, to have to slow down to play this. And of course we brought Brad in to play bass on this album. And now Brad's old school. Brad is an old school doom guy. So he was already well versed in this, but it was nice to step back from what I normally do, take a different approach. Let's play a different style of music and let's really get into it. Let's not just do a song or two. Let's do a bunch of songs. Let's really vibe this music, learn how to play it right, be happy with what we get.
So this was a real challenge for John, coming from fast pace and all this, to actually have to slow down, do the sludge stuff, man, doom. That had to be a challenge for him. I bet he was mad.
he loved it. It was a little frustrating at first for him, I think, but once you got into it, he really enjoyed the challenge and really stepped up to it. I mean, there are just some killer drum fills on this album. I mean, John really was above and beyond on this.
All right, Chuck, man, what do you hope everyone takes away while listening to your music in general, man? What do you hope they get from when they pop it in?
I just hope they have some fun.
Yeah.
Kick back, relax, listen to some good tunes, have a good time, smile, enjoy the music. Hopefully it makes your day a little bit better. You know, maybe you take some advice from the album, you know, Devil's Lettuce. I don't know, whatever gets you through the day.
Were these songs started out during the pandemic? The newer ones that was added to this? If so, did this give you like enough time for creativity on this? Did it give you more time to hone this out more?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, things kind of ground to a halt for a while. And I play out a lot, and then suddenly everything shut down. We had a show Friday, March 13th, 2020, which was a couple of days before they shut down Florida. And then we didn't have another show for over 6 months.
Oh, wow.
And that was the longest I've gone as an adult without a show. And when we did have a show, it was kind of underground. It was at somebody's house. Yeah, this was definitely an opportunity that we took because we had some extra time, because we weren't playing out all the time, to kind of focus inward and apply ourselves in this new direction.
I know you have a lot of music still to this day that you listen to, but do you still have a go-to album or song that you find yourself going back to and listening to from time to time? There's got to be one that you can't kick out. You have to listen to it eventually.
Wow, you probably have a couple, but one of the first ones that comes to mind, Black Sabbath, Born Again. Absolutely love that album. I know for some Sabbath fans, that's not their favorite, but for me, that's always one of my go-tos. Yeah. Absolutely love that. Of course, Ramones, Loco Live. When you're in the mood for the Ramones, there is no better album than Loco Live.
All right, Chuck, how can folks stay in touch with you, buy this new album from you, all your old stuff? And I suggest everybody get out and check out his old stuff too, because he's got some good punk stuff out there, folks. I'm telling you right now, the guy knows how to bring it. How can they do that? Good sir. Keep in touch with you, all that stuff.
ChuckLazaras.com, Lazaras, or Lazarus.com. They both go to the same spot. I'm on Facebook, official Chuck Lazaras, Instagram, Chuck Lazaras, Twitter, which I must confess I don't pay a lot of attention to, but I think that's at Lazarus on Twitter. So you definitely, please reach out, keep in touch. Let's follow each other on social media. Let's have some fun. Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show? Yeah, right. This is Chuck Lazaras, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. Please get out, check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link and YouTube link. And you guys better go subscribe to the YouTube link, because we got a lot of good stuff on there. And please, folks, help me out. You know, come on, help a podcaster who loves doing this out. Just go subscribe. It takes 2 seconds, and hit the little subscribe button too. So that way, I already said that, but hit the bell, whatever. I would really appreciate it. Please check Chuck's stuff out. Buy his new album that's out right now, 1971. Get his other stuff too as well. Please help us all out. Chuck, thank you so much, man. And best of luck to you. And you're always welcome back on here. Hey, thanks a lot. I've had a great time talking to you, man. Thank you, man.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.